Welcome to my show. A guest here. His name is Gerald Robinson. Mr. Gerald, how are you doing, sir?
I am doing very, very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Garnard. Thank you so much for this patience and everything. Thank you so much, Mr. Garnard. Firstly, you are an author. You are also a mission speaker. Can you please, Mr. Garnard, discuss more about yourself and how you are doing currently now, Mr. Garnard?
Well, I have been in Christian ministry all of my life, and the older I get, the longer that is. Um, I have been to your country. I've been in Nigeria and Ghana, Ivory Coast, South Africa, but uh, I really enjoyed the several times I was there in Nigeria. I train Bible teachers around the world. I have degrees in psychology, sociology, um, ministry, and theology. But it's during the latter years of my life that I become more conscious about time and how people deal with it. And so that's the reason I wrote the book that I believe we'll talk about today.
Exactly, I completely agree. Having mission, teaching a lot of people the word of God, every single country shows how determined and how persistent you are. That is very, very massive. And I also like to dive to your book, Mr. Garnard, which is this 30 seconds that can change your life. And do you also have more books you are planning to write in the coming future, Mr. Garnard?
Well, I have several books that have been written. One that was based on what much of what I used to teach, even in Nigeria. There was a ministry called Walk Through the Bible, and I trained speakers, preachers there in Nigeria to share that. After that, I wanted people to know about the glory of God. And so I wrote one called Cat and Dog Theology. And that's a lot of fun. But in the midst of fun, while people are smiling and laughing, you're able to hold up truth before them and they begin to see themselves in their real position with God. And that's been fun. And then I wrote Cat and Dog Prayer. Now, the whole cat and dog idea was based on a joke that people are like cats and dogs when they relate to their master. They say dogs have masters, cats have staff. They have people that work for them and do what they want them to have done. And too many people will say that they live their life for God, but they only tell God what to do and they don't pay attention to what God tells them. So they treat God like a staff member. I've written a couple of books about animals, the way that God made strange, odd animals. And those are written in a cartoon fashion. I've written one called The Innkeeper, and that's a look at the original Christmas story, but told through the eyes of the innkeeper rather than the way we traditionally read it. There's one that going out now called The Battle Rages On, and that's about spiritual warfare. After that, there's Before I Was Jesus. And if Jesus was there at the creation of the world, what was he doing between creation and the time he was born in Bethlehem? So I've written a lot of fun books, and I really enjoy helping people understand God a bit better. For me, as I've gained in age, there came a time when I could see the end of my life fairly clearly,
Wow.
and it made me wonder, when I leave this life, will I have accomplished all that God wanted me to do? And so I began examining life and time, how I use it, how other people use it, what we have to say about time. And that's the reason I wrote 30 Seconds That Can Change Your Life. There's so much of life you and I can get done in a very short amount of time, but we don't do it because we think it will take too much time. And when we think it takes too much time, we put things off, and then we wish we had more time because we don't have enough time to do what we ought to do. I've just found that you and I have the same amount of time every single day that Elon Musk has, or the head of Nigeria, or the head of America, President Trump, Warren Buffett, the big investor. Uh, they don't have any more time than we do. You and I have 24 hours in a day, so do they. And so, in examining my life, I wondered, how do they get so much done? And I just sit around wishing I had more time. And that's the purpose and the reasoning behind the book. I tried to solve that problem.
Definitely, it is a very, very powerful thing because people have to also understand that time is a very powerful thing. And I also like what you said, a lot of people think this time, I will have to do this thing. It takes a lot of time, but we now realize later on that we should have just, put those effort during that time because, time is very fast. Before we know, it just goes. So it's very, very fast. And I would also like to dive to that time management, Mr. Garnard. Do you feel like people get a lot of things wrong about time management? And if it is, what do you think most people get wrong about time management, Mr. Garnard?
I would start with the idea that what we mostly get wrong is we think we need more time. You don't need more time. You need to use the time that you have better. You need to manage it better. Um, I discovered this when, see, I'm upstairs in my office, but my file box is downstairs. And when I got finished with a paper, I would set it aside and think, I do not want to walk all the way downstairs to file this. When the mailman would come, I could see him deliver the mail. And I thought, I do not want to get up, walk downstairs, walk out across the yard to find the mailbox. It takes too much time. So I would put it off. As I approached the end of my life, my wife asked me, what do you want me to buy you for Christmas? And I said, I want a watch that counts down, that tells me if I set a date that I think God might call me home to heaven, I want to mark that day and I want every day to know how much time I have left. And she said, that sounds morbid. That sounds bad. That sounds not good. And I said, no, it will teach me to redeem the time, to use the time I have better, knowing I only have so many years or months or weeks or days or hours left. How will I use that? How can I use it better? How can I get more done in the same amount of time? I found that we use a lot of phrases like, I want to save time, I want to make time, I want to buy time. And the truth is, you cannot do any of those.
Mm.
There's an eating place here in the US, and they used to have the servers of the food to wear roller skates, thinking that if they could move faster, then they would save time in delivering your food. Well, I let them know you cannot save time. There's not a single server who will go home at the end of the day having time in a basket that they can carry saying, look at all the time I saved. You can use it more efficiently, but you cannot save it. You don't get to carry extra time home. Maybe on your cell phone, you get to carry minutes from one month to the next, but you don't get that in real life. So, what do they get wrong? they think they need more time when really they just need to use the time that they have better.
Wow, that is very, very inspiring. Thank you so much for the insight, Mr. Garnard. How can we just definitely imagine that we know how many time we have left? Honestly speaking, it would definitely make us know how we could definitely manage it. But normally, when someone listens to someone like that doesn't sound good, honestly speaking, I have 10 days left, it seems somehow, but it definitely could help in helping someone manage the time. And living a life of managing time more effectively is one of the best futures one can have. Thank you so much for the insight. No one can buy time and one can just use it effectively. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to dive to the point of someone that wants to use it effectively. That means that person have to use it more smarter, not harder. Not saying that I want to save time, like using it harder. So someone has to use it more smarter. Do you think there's a way, one better or one secret or way that one can use it more smarter to make it efficient? And how do you think one can also avoid burnout while managing that time, Mr. Garnard?
There are many ways that people can organize their life to use their time more effectively. But um, I'm not sure that is the real question. Work smarter, not harder, is a good saying. How would you save time by working smarter? Organization. What do I need to do? Can I do this job and that job? Do they have common things that what I do on this can be applied to that? But there are lots of time management books about that. And I don't want to repeat those. I would add one more question, and that is you can work harder, you can work smarter, but I think it's better to work wiser. Wiser is better than smarter. And what does that mean? Well, I've learned to gauge my life the way there was a president many, many years ago, 70 years ago. He used to be a general in the army. His name was Dwight Eisenhower. And he had been the head of the military, not only for us, but during one of the world wars. And he was very effective. And I wondered, how does he get so much done when he doesn't have any more time than I do? And I learned that he divided his list of things that need to be done and put things in four different categories. Things that must be done, and you should do it now. But there's a second category, things that must be done, but you can schedule it for later. There's a third category, that must be done, but you don't have to be the person that does it. You think you do, or somebody else thinks you do, but you don't. So you need to learn to delegate those things. Have someone else to do. When I was under the teaching of another man, he had a little plaque on his wall, a little sign on his wall, and it said something like, "Don't be busy doing what somebody else can do when you could be busy doing only what you can do." And so that makes me look at my list. What is there that has to be done that I can get somebody else to do? That frees up my time to do the things that only I can do. Many of us demand or want more time because we have so much to do. Maybe we have so much to do because we have not found somebody else to do some of it. And finally, there are those things that you need to learn to say no to. There are things that you do, things you can schedule to do later, things you can get someone else to do, and things that you just say no. Um, when I had my lifetime countdown watch, and I noticed one day going to another, that I have less and less to live, I had to ask, of all the things on my list that have to be done, do they have to be done? And do they have to be done by me? And the answer really is no.
Wow.
Learning what to say no to takes wisdom. When I received an invitation from you to join uh, your your podcast, I thought, is that something that needs to be done? Yes. Is it something I can get someone else to do? No. Is it does it need to be done, or should I say no to him? And I said, no, I cannot say no to him. This is a message that needs to get out. I'm the one who has to say it. Therefore, you went on my list, things I must do. But learning who to say no to can sometimes hurt feelings, and we don't want to. So we accumulate more and more things on our to do list that have no business being there. Wisdom makes the difference.
Wisdom is very, very powerful. That means the best future one can have is having that wisdom. Wisdom is more efficient, more better than having this future of smarter and stuff like that. Thank you so much for that insight, Mr. Garnard.
Yes.
And lastly, Mr. Garnard, I would like to dive to the point of technology. We are in a world of technology. A lot of things we're using time to do now. So how do you think technology actually also make time, management worse? Or do you think technology definitely make time management even better, Mr. Garnard?
I have found that technology claims to save time. It does not. It does a job for you, but you fill up that time with something else. And you fill it up with having to work around whatever it was technology was supposed to do for you. Let me give you a sample. Here in the United States, I bought my wife an electric dishwasher. Oh, that's going to save a lot of time. I don't have to wash dishes, but I have to scrape the dishes. I have to load them into the dishwasher. I have to wait for it to run. Then I still have to put the dishes away. And it takes 2 hours for the dishwasher to work. I could have washed the dishes in 20 minutes. And so I bought a time saving device that saved me no time. I have my cell phone, and my cell phone has all kinds of apps on it. Supposedly, that technology will save me time, but I spend more time on my phone doing other things. It didn't save me time, it gave me more things to do. And there's so much of life that way. We think that being modern and having technology will save us time or save us energy. But what it does is it provides you more opportunity to be busy with more things. And then you wish you had time saving devices for those things. And it really is amazing. Now, I admit I would rather use an electric vacuum cleaner than a broom. But it still takes me time. First, I have to find the vacuum cleaner, and then you have to plug it in. You have to empty it every so often. And once I vacuum one spot, I see another spot that needs it. So I go vacuum that spot, and that lets me see another place. And it provides me more work. I use perhaps less energy than I planned with the old fashioned way. But I've also discovered it hasn't really saved me time. I don't have extra time to work on my car by using the vacuum cleaner. I don't. I always find something else to fill in that time that I have. What I have discovered is there is there are a lot of things in life that we put off that we could have done very quickly and very easily. And we don't do it because we think it takes more time. I bought me a stopwatch, and I mentioned earlier how in my office, I won't go downstairs to file something because it takes too long, or I won't go get the mail. It takes too long. I had my stopwatch and I timed it 30 seconds to get from my office to the mailbox, 30 seconds to get from my desk to the file cabinet. How many times have I put that off because it took too long? It only took 30 seconds. And by doing it now, it frees me up from having to do it later when that would interfere with something bigger or more important on my list. So even people who suffer burnout, I've got too much to do and too little time to do it in. Um, Burnout really is too much to be done too quickly. And I think if you take those tasks that you're trying to say is too much and you categorize them in that one of those four categories. Do I do it? Do I assign it to someone else? Do I schedule it? Do I have, maybe I don't do it at all. Using that wisdom will free you up from the burnout. Secondly, burnout is a result of having too much work and not enough recreation or free time, time to rest, time to enjoy. People tend to think that they have to be busy all the time. That will burn them out. You need to have, I believe God designed you. He designed you to sleep, that's rest. He designed you to take a break during the day. He designed you to enjoy your family. And in the midst of that, you work. But you don't live to work. You work in order to live the life that you want to live. And for those who feel like they have to be productive and fruitful 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they are mistaken. God never designed their life to be that way. He wants you to enjoy your life. That doesn't mean being lazy. It means learn to use your time. Learn to use the unused moments. Now, may I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Do you, do you have a television?
Yeah, exactly. I have a television.
Okay, and obviously you watch television.
Yes.
What do you do when a commercial comes on?
Sometimes I can just go into the kitchen and just maybe drink water.
Uh, I found that during the commercial, and now that we have cable TV and satellite TV, there are more commercials than there used to be, and they take longer. And how can I use that time? Well, I got my stopwatch and I said, I have things sitting on a chair that need to go out into a shed. I don't do it because it takes too long. I timed it, it took 30 seconds. I could get that done in a 1 minute commercial and still have time to do something else. Instead, I found that I would sit there and watch a commercial about something I don't care about, don't want to buy, don't want to spend my money on it. And I sit there like a lump on a log, wasting that minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes of commercial. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, there's nothing valuable I can do while that commercial is on. I found out I was wrong. And that's the reason for the book. At the end of every chapter, I write, here are 30 things you can do in 30 seconds in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your car. While you watch TV and a commercial comes on, pick off two things that you can do in 30 seconds each, get them done, get them out of the way. Now you have free time. You can watch your TV show and you don't have to go do those things later because they're already done. So again, that comes with being working smarter and working wiser.
Mm. Thank you so much, Mr. Ghana. You actually said a lot of things, even when it comes to that technology, which is very, very, very massive. We believe we are saving time, but definitely we are just giving more time to do more and more and more things. And that more and more things, we are looking for a way to even save time, then do more and more and more things. Time is very, very special, precious. We just have to be
Yeah.
wise enough. I feel like every single one of us could have every single time that we used to live on it. And I don't feel, we don't probably feel like that time has limit, or it could be limited because of one thing or the other. I don't think it's definitely, it's just how we could use it and be more wiser to use it, which is very, very important. Thank you so much for the insight, Mr.
Well,
Garnard. And Mr. Garnard, there is a question I normally ask during the end of the show, Mr. Garnard. From the forefathers, there are a lot of things that do exist during our forefathers' time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, Mr. Garnard, what do you think that thing would be, Mr. Garnard?
the appreciation of time with family and time to enjoy life. Your life is meant to be more than just work. Again, you work in order to provide a living. You do not live to do work.
Mm.
Um, if we can get that understanding back into our mind and into our heart, I think we would live differently. We would live less likely to count how much we get done and more likely to count how much can we live and enjoy the life that God gave us. Now, that does not mean don't work, just go enjoy life. That is being unfruitful, that's being unwise, that's not living up to the expectations I believe God has for you. It's not the reason He put you here. But learn to divide it well. Learn to take time to enjoy. There's more to measure your life with than how much you get done. Um, pay more attention to what it is that only you can do. When when I was working with a church, I always felt compelled to be more and more involved, getting more and more done in the church. But I also was a husband. And there are things only a husband can do for his wife. There are things only a father can do for his children. Real wisdom is understanding what those are and not giving yourself totally to something that perhaps somebody else could be involved in doing. Some things you could say no to, but we want to feel useful. So we fill up our time with other things and we neglect the things that only we could do, like be a husband and be a father. I think we need to bring wisdom back into our life, not just the sense of urgency to get things done. Again, Elon Musk, President Trump, President of Australia, the King of England, Nobody has any more or less time than you do. But you do need to understand what you can and cannot do with time. You can't stop time. You can't borrow time. You can't save time. You can't buy time. You can't, you either use the moment that you are in at this moment, or it passes into eternity, into the past, totally unused, unproductive, and unfruitful. Unproductive and unfruitful does not mean accomplishing more and more at work. You can be fruitful with your children. Take time with them. Help them to learn what fathers are supposed to do, what fathers provide. Help them to understand, where does love fit into our home? How does love fit into the marriage? How do I treat my wife? That is a very productive life that will evaluate those things. Productivity is not limited to business and accomplishing a job. It's accomplishing your life the way God would want it.
Thank you so much for the insight, Mr. Garnard. I think every single person needs to also understand that, we also continue to have this truth in life. We have to, have this type of, just these ideas that could definitely help us to understand how life is. A lot of people could dive a lot of time into something that definitely, even the coming future might not be any productive, but we have to use this time for something that in the next generation, if we spend time with the family, the children we definitely learn, give it to the next children. Generation and generation we impact tremendous things. So this time we have to be wise enough to use it very well. It can't be saved. It can just be wise enough to just use it in the right. We do know that community technology is there, but we should spend time to do something for the family, connect with one another, and also be productive in one way or the other that will not cause some kind of burnout or pressure in the coming future. We all have the same, honestly speaking, we all time pass away. As we are speaking now, time has gone and it will never ever come back again. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for the time and the opportunity, Mr. Garnard, for even giving me this second. I know it's a second chance. Thank you so much, sir.
you are welcome. Okay, can I say one last thing? Time is eternal. You are not. You have only so much time on planet Earth, so much time that God has breathed life into your body. My goal is to help you use it better. Learn to use it well so that your life is better. So that's the whole goal behind the book, 30 Seconds That Can Change Your Life. Learn to use the unused moments in life. Thank you for the invitation to be with you.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Garnard. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.